So, what is the mission statement for Flower of Life Food Rescue?
Well, we have the primary goal of eliminating the political and economic hierarchies that create the conditions for poverty. But for right now, we're really just trying to give back to our community.
So, when did this branch of the organization start? Like, walk me through how it began.
But really, it started about September this year. I was really inspired by the work of Food Not Bombs, which is pretty much exactly like what we're doing. What they do is they take food from like restaurants, farms, other places where they sell food, and they hand it out on the street. And I thought that'd be nice to have here in Oxford because there's not a lot of places that have that. So I just started calling grocery stores and whatnot, and I eventually found Betsy at the Oxford Community Market, and she was really enthusiastic about the idea, and we just kind of kicked it off from there. She knew a sorority house chef named Zach Tillotson. He's a great guy, and now he just gives us any extra food that he has. You know, it'd be nice to eliminate like the conditions that create poverty, because you know we shouldn't have, in my opinion, we shouldn't really have to exist. You know, like any food that is cooked or any food that is would be thrown away, it shouldn't be thrown away just because you know you have to pay money for the sorority houses to have that food. Like there should be systems in place or like something in place to be able to redistribute that food.
So, what has been a successful week? Like, what does a successful week look like for you?
Successful week. Well, usually a successful week usually means a lot of food, and we do get quite a bit of food, even from just like 2 or 3 sorority houses. Um, we probably got like 75 pounds of shrimp one time from Pi Beta Phi because they had a shrimp boil, but nobody showed up. So we took all that shrimp, and they had a lot of gumbo, and we gave out like 157 boxes on one Friday, and that was a really great week. Well, I think you know my favorite or the best time that I've had, or the most successful time that I've had, was one week when we were in the CB Webb apartments, and we were just finishing up the community gardens that we're building, and a lot of little kids showed up just from randomly from the houses. It was the first time that they had showed up, and they were helping us build the gardens. We had a truckload of dirt, and they were helping us put the dirt into the gardens. They were all like together, putting their hands in the dirt, talking to each other, laughing. You know, we were talking to them. Their parents showed up, and they were talking to each other as well.
So, what are some challenges you face in regards to your weekly goals?
Well, I mean, sometimes one of the houses, they'll have food that's left over, but we don't have enough hands on deck to go get the food, or it'll be at a time where none of us can go get it. And so sometimes that food will just end up being thrown out, which is unfortunate. Uh, Otherwise we're pretty good about delivering food, getting things to where they need to be.
Mhm. So, where would you say most of your donations come from? Greek Life mostly, or other businesses right now?
Well, right now we don't really receive any donations. I don't even think we have a fundraiser or anything going on. But I mean, in reality, it doesn't really take that much money to just take food from sorority houses that would otherwise be thrown away. I mean, they were going to throw it away anyway. So um, I guess what would be more important than money right now, at least in this early stage, would be to have, you know, hands, have volunteers, you know.
Sorry, is there anything that you wish people knew more about the organization or the issues you're addressing through this?
Well, I wish more people were aware of just kind of how unequal our society is, how just, you know, the inequalities that are there at least that I witnessed in these communities. You know, I know Oxford is a very rich place. You know, Oxford generates billions of dollars because of the university, but I mean, what I see in these communities wouldn't really show that. I mean, when we go hand out food to these kids that get off the school bus, you know, they don't have. I mean, we've been told that a lot of them, when they get off the bus, they're on their own. And another thing there's not a lot of places in Oxford that can take care of people who are underprivileged. Because we deliver food to Grace Church, our Grace Bible Church, and there's a great guy there named Alex Coleman, and he keeps like about 40 to 80 kids a night in the little basketball gym they have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I asked him, I said, Alex, is there anywhere else that these kids could go? Well, he said, yeah, well, Oxford isn't really good about that. Because they don't want people to believe there's a poverty problem here, because they're trying to attract businesses and whatnot. And I'm not trying to diss the city of Oxford. I just so wish that more people. It's really just society in general.
How do you prep for the food drive? Like,
I just get the food I park in the sorority house, and he puts it in my trunk. I drive it to wherever they are. They've usually already have set up tables and everything, and we just so I hand out food, have a good time.